Man, this film is late. Like, 5 years too late.
I can still see him. I can still see him.
So, Slender Man is directed by Salvian White and stars the people that I don't even know except for Joey King. And it's based on a meme uber legend named Slender Man and also a game with the same name, Slender. And it's produced by Screen Gems. They made a lot of fatal attraction movies. Hell friggin' to you. So what Slender Man is about is 4 teenagers. They watch this video about Slender Man to prove that Slender Man is not actually real. But when they found out one of their friends disappeared, they figure out, is Slender Man real or not? Now, when I saw the trailers of this movie, I'm thinking, do they really need to make a Slender Man movie? Like, in 2012, Slender Man was very scary. I used to play that Slender game, and I was like in grade 5, and I wear earphones and play, and it scared the crap out of me. It was a scary game, but probably when I play now, it's not as scary anymore. We get Five Nights at Freddy's still scary, and we get other scary games out now, and like Slender Man is just not as scary. And the trailers of this movie, I wasn't inside. I'm saying this movie is going to be terrible, especially when Screen Gems is going to produce it. That they don't do like great films, like they do a lot of fatal attraction films, and I just don't trust it. I went into this movie just not expecting it to be good. I went to a very early screen this Friday, just today. I just came back from it, and I walked out thinking, this film is not terrible, surprisingly. But is it bad? Yes, it is still the movie that I expect it to be. This is still a bad movie. But the reason why this film isn't terrible, it has some impressive positives. For one, there are some pretty creepy imagery in this film that I'm so surprised at. Like, most of the imagery is actually pretty creepy. I am not gonna lie. And some of the scares in this movie, not all of them, that's going to go to the flaws, but there are some scares in the movie that I'm like, you know what, they did quite cleverly, and I was really impressed with the scares. And also, the movie looks great. I like the colors. I like the look of this film. This film looks really creepy looking, especially the scenes in the forest. It does look really creepy, and I like the scenery and the cinematography of this movie. Like, I think Slavian White, like, I don't know if I say his name right, but I'm just saying, his work, like, the look of this film, looks really great. But, guys, Slender Man is still a bad movie. This is still a mediocre horror film that we've seen many times before. I think the biggest negative with this movie is that this movie is boring, literally. There's not as much scares that I hoped to be. There are some very cliched scares in this film, and there are some pretty annoying scares as well. Like, Slender Man is like, when he comes out, you hear like cranks of wood most of the time, and it does annoy me once in a while. Let's talk about the 4 girls in the film. Now, I think Joey King is the one that's trying her best, but the other girls just act like every typical horror movie cliche girls that we can possibly imagine. Like, we don't even get much of a main character in this film that much. Like, I think Joey King is mostly the main character, but then there's like another character that we think, oh, she's the main character. But no, that actually happened and we don't know. And it is pretty confusing once in a while. And literally, this film feels like a boring mystery film that I wasn't rooting for the girls this entire movie. Besides that, they made some dumb decisions, and I'm really sick of horror films doing really dumb decisions. And also, Slender Man in this movie looks a little bit laughable. There are some scenes that he looked cool, but there are some things that he looked a bit laughable, like, I'm not gonna lie. And this movie does rip off from other horror movies out there. Like, it reminds me of the Bye Bye Man that I watched like 2 years ago, and even Rings. It has some moments from those scenes that were in this movie that I'm thinking, that's what the Bye Bye Man would have done. This film is kind of like a student film, you know, that wouldn't release in theaters. If this was a student film, I would have been more impressive. But since this guy, he's like 45 years old, I wasn't impressed. This is probably the worst horror film of the year because most of the scares, I wasn't even scared. There was some scares that I did quite cleverly, but it doesn't mean I was scared from them. There were some scares that are just like, they did it quite well and very cleverly, but it didn't scare me. That's one of the biggest flaws. But most of the scares in this movie are just all typical horror movie scares that we've seen many times before. And this movie's just very forgettable. That's the biggest problem. It's just very forgettable. It's not a movie I'll remember. When it comes out, I'm like, oh, there's a Slender Man movie. Oh yeah, I watched that movie and reviewed that movie. That's probably how I feel with Slender Man, because I think Slender Man is probably one of the most forgettable horror films of the year and probably the worst. It's not terrible, surprisingly, because there are some pretty clever scenery and pretty clever, like, scares that they did. But the movie, like, the whole movie was just a bad movie. It's not great, guys. I wouldn't recommend you guys to see Slender Man. It's not worth your time. Just watch movies like The Meg that's out this week that I'm going to watch tomorrow. Watch that movie. I heard it's a lot of fun. I would rather watch A Big Shark than this movie right now. Well, depends if I like The Meg or not. But, guys, overall, don't go see Slender Man, and I'm going to give Slender Man a D+. So guys, let me know down below if you have seen Slender Man. Do you like the movie or hate the movie? Let me know in the comments below. My next review is going to be The Meg. So guys, make sure you follow me guys on Facebook and Stardust. Keep in contact with me and make sure to subscribe to my channel. And have a nice day.